Hey guys, today we're going to talk about making wax dirt to set your traps in. Wax dirt's just regular dirt that you find that you coat with wax. By melting the wax into it, it coats the exterior of the dirt particles and it keeps it from freezing. When you go through a lot of freeze-thaw cycles during the trapping season, if you get some rains or you get a snow melt and you got your trap set, it'll freeze all that dirt around it. So what you want to do by making and placing the wax dirt is create an envelope around your trap so that any of that water cannot get there, freeze, and then your jaws will function when the pan is depressed. Some guys use peat moss. I've never really had good luck with peat moss. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I just haven't had good luck with it, and I don't care to use it. When you're finding your dirt for making your wax dirt, it's got to be good and dry. You can't have any moisture in it. If it is moist, then you're going to have to heat it to get that moisture out of there. Otherwise, what happens is once you coat that outside of that dirt in wax, it's still going to freeze when it gets cold, and it's going to bust it, and you get several of those doing that, and then the moisture is going to freeze together, and it'll be the same as using the natural dirt that you just dug up that has a lot of moisture in it. A couple good places to find good dry dirt, especially if you're not getting it in the middle of the summer. If you are getting it in the summer, you can just take it right out of your garden. Some guys will lay a tray out with a glass top on it and let it just bake in the sun for several days. That's a good way to dry it out, but if it's late season and you wasn't prepared and you have to get some dirt ready quick, you can heat it on the stove. A good place to find dirt that's usually going to be pretty dry is if you know of a barn that has a dirt floor. That dirt's going to be pretty dry, providing the roof over the structure is still intact. Or under bridges. Bridges are a good place to look. You can get a 5-gallon bucket of dirt out of there, and depending on how much you want to make, and just make up a small batch. Today we're going to make a small batch. I'll start by showing you the wax that I use and how we melt that into the dirt, heat it, cool it, and get it ready for use. When I make wax dirt, I just use paraffin wax. Get it at your grocery store. I find it at my local store. It's in the canning section. You want to make sure that it is paraffin wax and make sure that it's not a soy-based wax. The soy-based wax will have an odor to it, and some animals will like that, and they'll smell it and they'll try to dig it up, and the last thing you want is your track to be dug up just because the dirt that envelops it smells attractive to an animal. After you got your wax, you're going to have to grade it down because this stuff will come in blocks and it's not going to melt very well in the large size like this. You need to flake it out. To do so, I just swiped one of the cheese graters from my wife from the kitchen. Now I got to buy her a new one. And then just grade this stuff out till it gets smaller. I'll show you that. We're working out of my garage today because it's about 1 degree outside right now, and I'd rather not do this out there right now. Just take your wax block, grade it through the grater till you get your fines. All right, I got that wax all cut up. Give me about a 30-ounce coffee can full of wax, which will be enough for what we're going to do today. When I grate that down, I'll just get these pieces down small enough to where I'm about ready to rub my hands or my gloves against that grater, and then that'd be a good time to stop. Save these smaller pieces for after trapping season and just use those, throw it in your water to boil out when you go to wax your traps. let's talk about the dirt. When you're getting ready to put the wax in the dirt, you need to make sure that dirt's pretty fine. I usually run mine just through my trap sifter. If it'll fit through those holes, it'll be good enough for it's ready to be waxed. Again, when I talk to you guys about this dirt having to be super dry, I don't know if you can see if I mix this up. I mean, there's a lot of dust coming off of there, and that's what you want. It's got to be dry with no moisture in it. If it freezes because it's still wet, putting the wax on it is just a waste of your time. When you're ready to start mixing your dirt and your wax, you want to have a big enough pot or pan to put it in that you've got plenty of room to mix. As the stuff's heating up, you've got to keep it moving to get that wax touching the surface of all of the dirt. So on your dirt to wax mix, you want to go on about a 5-to-1. That's dependent on the soil, so you may have to even change that, add a little wax too. That's a good safe starting point though. So we'll get five scoops of dirt in here. We still got some room. We're gonna 6, 7, 8. We're gonna go with 10. We'll just go ahead and double this up. So that's gonna fill me up to about here on the bucket. That gives me plenty of room to start mixing. Now I'm not gonna put my wax in yet. We're gonna wait. We're gonna heat this dirt up because that wax won't melt until the dirt's warm. I'm about 150 degrees. That's going to be good enough to melt that wax. Once your dirt and wax mix is warm enough, you're going to want to lay that out and work it for a little bit. You want it to cool separated. You don't want it to coagulate inside of your container because that wax will start kind of forming. So you want to spread it out. I just like to use a clean piece of cardboard, spread it out, work it. Like I said, you'll want to keep this dirt moving until it's fairly cool, which should not take too long today. If it's still got some heat to it, which that's pretty darn warm, that wax will start sticking to itself. It'll form little clots. It's nothing that you can't undo. You can smash it and break them apart. It's just a pain. Now that our dirt is all cooled down now, I'll show you guys what the difference is and how you know if you've got enough wax in that dirt that it's going to be effective when you put it around your traps out in the cold. All right, we've got our two different dirt piles out here. We've got an untreated pile and we've got the treated pile. So on the untreated pile, if you get a rain event or a snow melt, and you can see what this water is going to do. That dirt just soaks it in. It's just going to make mud. That offers no protection at all. On your wax dirt, you get that rain or snow melt event. That water's just going to beat up on there. It'll protect that for hours. Honestly, it should be good overnight without an issue. Let me get you a little bit closer here so you can see it better. So there's the untreated dirt. Again, like I said, it just soaked that water right in. Put a little more on there. It'll just keep taking it in. That is the wax dirt. That stuff will pond up on there. If you have this all the way around your trap and you got rain on there, it's just going to beat up and it'll shut it off. It will not penetrate that dirt. It'll just stay bubbled up. It really does work out good. It'll just shut it right off and everything underneath is nice and dry. Thanks again for watching, guys. I hope somebody can learn something off of this, and it'll help you guys successfully trap some coyotes or raccoons or anything, whatever your target animal is. I would like to ask you once again if you could like these videos, and please hit that subscribe button. I want to get up there and get my numbers up. Share this video, let your friends see it. I would appreciate that. I'd like to keep putting out a lot more videos. This is hopefully just the beginning.